Kia ora koutou, and welcome to a long overdue episode of South Pacific Muscle. Joining myself and Mike today, the most popular man in New Zealand bodybuilding, Darren Dingle. Welcome, Darren. How you been, boys?
Good, bro. How are you?
Very well, very well. How's life in Palmy, bro?
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty busy, eh? Just at work at Flex, and we've started a challenge recently, a couple of weeks out from the end of the prep, which wasn't the ideal time to start it, but it works well with the gym, and that's been going well. Have heaps of clients competing around the country, which has been fun, going around all the shows and stuff, keeping involved, which is a lot, it's always fun to be at the shows on the weekends and stuff. Kind of gets that scratches that itch for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, bro. Hey, I see you've got Beast Builder has joined your gym there down in Palmy.
Who? Which one?
It'd be the guy who's doing at least 2 plates aside more than anyone else in every exercise.
Oh, yeah. I just saw he just did some deadlifts tonight, like 350 for 4 or something. I saw.
Yeah. No, he's over there for a couple of months, and then he's actually got the air traffic control role over in Napier. So we'll be seeing him over our side, which will open a few eyes in our gym.
Yeah, the boys are loving it. There's heaps of the young guys love the strength stuff more than the physique stuff, really, and they're really enjoying having him around.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, he's a really good guy, so it's awesome to have him around. Hey, I thought we might just do a quick touch on what's been happening out and about there and internationally. We've had the British finals, so the Two Bros comp. Really interesting, man. Like, the standard over there is something special. So I thought it probably easier just for those that aren't aware of some of the names, just to bring up some of the top competitors and we can see how they stacked up. So I'll just do my magic here.
They get some people from Europe, or was it mainly just the British guys?
British guys, man. So in 4th place was Josh Maley. So Mike, he's a 6'6" man. Yeah. He's a big unit.
He trains with Jamie, doesn't he? He's got pretty big wheels for a dude that tall.
Yeah. So I mean, when you look at that, and that's your 4th place, it's yeah. So this condition was pretty amazing, eh? So yeah, you'd look at him and he doesn't look like 6'6", does he?
Mm.
No, yeah, he's thick as for his height.
Yeah, man. So Josh came in 4th place. In 3rd place, some of you might know Joe Bellinger. That's what 3rd place looks like at the British finals. I'll see if I can find a show picture to see if we've got one there. May not. Here we go. So there's some pretty neat separation in those legs, eh?
Yeah, crazy conditioning.
Yeah. And coming in 2nd, Connor Fairburn. So for those that don't follow Connor the real deal, quite an interesting guy to follow actually, but he's just missed out in the last couple of years, but yeah, pretty impressive physique, but I don't think we're going to be able to. That's what 2nd place looks like. I'd say that would win our nationals any given year, except for possibly when Steve was there. And here's your 1st place man, Mariam Saramko. So that's what it was. So there's your new IFBB Pro, Mariam Saramko. So if people want to follow him, go have a look. So that was the last show that's been on. Coming up, obviously, the one that a lot of people were talking about was the Tampa Pro, and pretty massive classes, actually. Not surprising, we're getting close to the Olympia, so we've got big numbers of people trying to qualify or accumulate points. So in the open, we had Max Charles, Dorian Haywood, Sung Chul Lee, Justin Maki, Mohammed Shaban, Big Joel Thomas, who I'm really keen to see, and a bunch of other people, including Ian Villiers. So any predictions there for the Tampa Pro?
Yeah, well, is Rowley doing it? He's not on the list, but he originally did say he was going to do it, right?
I think he's headed over to
Spain.
Europe. Yeah. That's
All right.
To compete against Nathan Deasha over in Portugal.
Yeah.
So
well, Ian showed a lose really now, but that guy that's working under Jansen was looking pretty good as well.
Oh, he's into his off season, man.
Oh, okay.
He was going to do Tampa Pro.
Griffin.
Oh,
I mean.
Oh yeah. I didn't see his name in the lineup that I looked at, because I certainly would have pulled him up on the contenders. But if he is, I'd certainly have him in my top three. Probably, well, tough call, because you got Max Charles and Mohammed Shaban, so they could be a bit of a dogfight and potentially pushing in.
The guy from Songchon, whatever it is, yeah, he beat Max at the Olympia last year. Yeah,
I don't think this year he's looked as good, and Max has looked a lot better this year. But on any given day,
Max's legs come up a bit, eh?
Yeah, significantly, eh?
Mustafa and going to Tampa, he's going to everything, isn't he?
His name wasn't on the list I looked at, but he's pretty much done everything. So, and he's looking pretty crazy at the moment. So, but is he going to be another Ruli or another Rami that everyone's sitting here going, come on?
Only he could get in shape.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone wants to see it, that's the thing. It's not like everyone's knocking the guy. It's like, we just want to see you nail it because you look so fucking good.
Does he still work with the Aceto?
Yeah.
So I mean, sooner or later, they've got to get it right.
Yeah, you would think. Mind you,
they tried. Everybody was saying maybe they should try feeding him more, which I think they tried going into that last show. But it's like, he still looks like, 4 weeks out compared to the guys he's standing next to. So I don't know if they're going to reward him. Like when he came around last year, he was pretty much in that condition as well. They rewarded it, but then he hasn't improved since then. So they're not going to change anything unless he comes in peeled now.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I heard some commentary and they were talking about another athlete that I don't know if it was Aceto. It was one of those guys that were talking about one of the athletes they worked with, and they said they had to basically diet them really fucking hard for 23 weeks. Well, and I mean, we all go, yeah, we've done a 20-week diet, but if you look at those hard weeks in that diet and times that by 23, that's
some 70 gram carb days, man.
Yeah. Yeah, not fun. Hey, the 212s, the names that stood out to me, Guy Sistanino, obviously, still needs to qualify for the Olympia. John Dewitt must be close on points. And the most well-hung man in bodybuilding, Bo Lewis. No, look, Bo Lewis has got a fucking amazing physique, though. They were the three names that stood out, but to be fair, there was about a page and a half of names in the 212. So 212s are going to be a pretty tough one to win. But I'm kind of hoping Guy gets here, because I like his attitude. But
fun for the old guys.
Well, I like John too. I'm a fan of John too.
Guy really doesn't have no disrespect, what do I know, but his front double just doesn't look the same anymore. There's no lats from the front at all, and I think it throws off most of his because his lat spread was already his weakest shot. Now his front double's not really doing much, so it's I don't know. I don't know if he'll make it this year, which sucks because I love him on the podcast and all that. And
is that to do with the shoulder issues that he had? Because I know he's had a lot of surgeries, and when you have jammy shoulders, it's sometimes really hard to get your lats out.
It might just be posing because of injuries. There might not even be a lat problem, but I don't know. He didn't look the same at that last show, eh?
Oh, definitely that last show. He was just, I don't know if he was just super flat, or what it was. He did talk about it and said that
Took some diuretics, didn't he? And
yeah,
flattened them out, and he just couldn't fill up.
Yeah, probably a warning for young players, is you know, diuretics are a bit of a crapshoot. My understanding was that one of those was not potassium sparing, so you know, straight away you start talking about cramping issues and all those kind of things. And as soon as I don't know. I think it's probably best left to those that know, and also because of the dangers of diuretics, obviously. But you know, it's probably something that if you are going to do, you need to sort of trial, not just the day before. So yeah,
definitely.
But again, you know, every show is different, and what works one show might not work the next. So, do you know anything about the classic class at Tampa, Darren?
I haven't seen those lists that you're reading right now. I was looking for them earlier, but I know that Steve Laureus is competing, which he's pretty much, in my opinion, the only threat to Chris Bumstead if he can come in shape. He's got amazing structure. I don't know if you've ever seen him, what he looks like, but yeah, crazy. And I think he kind of nailed it once at that Arnold, and they gave it to Breon maybe that year. But like, honestly, if he can nail it, he's got just as much size as Chris. He's got that structural advantage. So
should we just look him up, because we're going to start talking classic. So Steve Laureus, here we go. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about Steve, and rightly so.
He hasn't competed for a while. He was working with Neil Hill. I don't know if he still is. See, it's pretty, like, so bubbly as well.
Yeah, man, it's just such a nice looking physique, you know, and you know, there's a lot of especially in my neighborhood, a lot of talk about aesthetics and things like that, but to me that's what aesthetics means, you know.
Look at his front, go down a couple. I think I saw one of his front double. That's his money shot. Yeah, there in his, I don't know, in his undies or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, nutty,
Wow.
Tiny way.
How tall is he? Is he similar to Chris?
Not too sure. Might be 6 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, because that sort of reminds me of Breon, you know. But if he's taller, then he can match up.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of like that front double kind of is like Breon, but yeah, he's definitely a lot taller and a lot wider.
Classic. It's not. And look, to be fair, before we kick off, is probably a bit of a disclaimer that I don't know as much about classic as I should, and that's why we've got Darren on tonight. But for those that don't know, I don't know, you know, if your head's been in the sand, but NZIFBB Wellington Champs coming up on the 14th. There's also a classic physique pro qualifier, so some lucky athlete, it won't be lucky, but some deserving athlete will win their pro card. So, Darren, I know you're going to be competing. How's prep going for the show?
Yeah, it's been an awesome prep. I started it about 17 weeks out. Probably that weekend I saw you in Auckland for the Auckland Champs. And yeah, the weight just came off pretty easily at the start, as it always did. Food stayed high, cardio's been pretty low. Yeah, and everything's just kind of gone to plan. I tried some things this year that I hadn't done before, and have made pretty good changes to my physique. After Tournament and Champions last year, I was like pretty embarrassed with that, what I displayed there. Like, my body was tired and I'd lost a lot of weight, and I got down to like low 80s, which, you know, I hadn't competed like that since when I first started. So I'll be probably at least mid 90s this time. So I've definitely put on some muscle or regained whatever I lost, and I'm looking forward to it. Just being able to present something I'm proud of.
Awesome, bro. Yeah, I think what I might do is just quickly bring up your Insta too, because I know there's a photo of there on there recent one. Where am I? Darren Dingle. Very complete, bro. Very complete.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
cool. So how, what was that? Oh, 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that was after a high day, so it's a bit watery, but like I just like the conditioning's definitely there. I've been trying to hold back. I'm trying to push too hard because as soon as I pull that trigger, I know what my body does, and it turns into a furnace. So I've stuck to the plan that I laid out from the start, and just as long as the peak goes right, then we should be sweet.
Oh, good stuff, man. And for those that don't know some of the competitors, I don't know all of them, but I thought we might go and have a bit of a sneaky peek at some of the competition there, Darren, and see who else we've got coming in, because there's some really good competitors in there, and some really good guys, actually, just genuinely good guys. So it's going to be fun up there, as much as it's a battle. So got I think this is about all he's showing. So Tom Ward, who's working with Kenny O'Malley, so he's going to be competing down there. I don't know, that was how old this photo is. What show is that? Does anyone know? Is that last year's
Nationals last year?
Yeah. So
it's posted April. This will say down the bottom, April 20.
Yeah, but it looks like a Nationals photo, so it'll be from the previous year. So we've got Tom Ward there. We have got, of course, Andrew Murray, and I probably don't need to bring up photos of Andrew, but I will, because everyone knows Andrew. Let's see if we can find a photo of Andrew. Ooh, a bit of a video of him. He's going to do some posing for us. So I think this photo, 7 weeks out. So he's always in good nick, though.
Yeah, I caught up with him, obviously, when we were at that Never Hawke's Bay show a couple of weeks ago. And, his calves are about the size of my head. So
calves and chest, bro. Yeah.
He'll be good to go.
Hey, 7 weeks out, he's got some striations in those glutes. I saw those popping. So I know he'll be working hard. So, good luck to you, Andrew. It's kind of funny when you get like a bunch of guys in there that you actually like a bunch of the guys and you kind of want them all to do well. But we've got Michael Fowles competing as well. I don't know if he's done any update photos in recent time, possibly.
Nah, it's been frustrating, man. I'm like, come on, guys, show me what you're looking like.
Oh, that's old. It's an old photo of him, but
yeah.
So
he's done little peaks here and there on his stories.
Yeah. Here's a previous photo of Michael competing. So Michael Fowles. Anyone else that we know competing? Who else do we know? Anyone else?
Luke Dempsey.
Luke.
It'll be it's like YHMCED on Instagram. He's coached by Taryn McCall.
How do you spell his last name, mate? It'd be
DEMCHY. It's not coming up.
No, it starts with a D, dude. You've got a B there.
Oh, yeah, D.
Oh, prep brain. No.
And it's got an M, I think, DEM.
Yeah, M.
Man, I'm having a shocker here. Luke Dempsey, here we go.
That's his private.
Private account. Okay.
Go to that, just type in like YHMC. Yeah, there. He's up the top.
Gotcha.
Oh, no. Now you click on the hashtag.
Man, I'm winning here, guys. I'm going to edit the shit out of this, right? No, I won't.
Part of the charm, man. You don't want to look too professional.
MC, come on.
Back one, just back. Go back to just YH. I think we're on to a winner there. Y, yeah, there.
Top one.
Oh, that was like 5 minutes, man. I'm sure I'm like having
Not me at all. You're Paul, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're running the show. You're allowed
to have a mozza.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So where's Luke from? I've never come across.
I'm not completely sure. I think maybe Auckland, but he competed last in 2018. He did the nationals. I think he might have got third in his class in classic, but he got second in the bodybuilding overall.
Yeah, he's got a crazy physique. There's a lot of size on that, man.
Yeah, he's got a great structure and he looks like he's in good shape. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Oh, that's cool. So there's definitely some pretty tough competition there, Darren, but it's going to be a good dog fight.
Yeah. Nah, I've known all along that, like Andrew is somebody I haven't beaten before, and he's beaten me at the same show for 3 years in a row. So he's probably the one I was thinking about most of the time. But then, anyone could even show up on the day. There could be guys that we're not even thinking about right now. So all we can really do is improve on our last looks and the cliche, bring our best.
Yeah, man. Yeah, look, that's something that it's probably a cool point to discuss because, we do kind of get fixated and particularly people that haven't been in the game for that long get fixated on what they're going to look like compared to someone else. And it doesn't help, like all you can do is focus on you. And it's kind of, to me, I sort of changed my thinking on that, and quite possibly because I've got to stand next to Paris at the Nationals. And not just Paris. Look, I don't want to take away anything from any of the other guys. Some of the other guys that are popping up around the country just on my Insta feed and that are looking phenomenal. There's a bunch of them, and I won't go out throwing names around, but there's a bunch of guys. And to me, it's actually quite an honor to be able to stand next to athletes of that caliber, because, to me, the worst thing you could do is prep for 20 weeks and then go and stand on a stage and have no competition, or a pretty weak competition and just walk through it because, the win's meaningless. I'd rather take third in a stacked lineup and, really have to work for that than put in all that time and effort for very little. So thoughts on that, people?
Yeah, well, for me, 100%. Like the last thing I got told when I last saw Mo was that I had to be fuller, and so that's all I've been focusing on the whole off season. It's what was getting me through, getting the meals in and all that, and what's getting me through being hungry now. It's about bettering yourself every time, and like my physique was competitive back then when I wasn't 100%. So I know that if I've made improvements and I can do what I need to do, that it'll be competitive again. So there's no point focusing on other people. I see it a lot more, especially with my female athletes, like going through, oh, this person's looking like this, and it gets into their head, and then people start having to have social media breaks and all this sorts of stuff. But you didn't start bodybuilding to compete with someone. It's usually something internal that motivated you to get going in the first place. So you just got to keep remembering that when you progress through the sport, because when the stage is gone, we're all still going to be in the gym. We're all still going to be trying to look good, or whatever your goal is. So stay true to that, really.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I always advise people, make sure you've got a performance goal, vision in your head of what you can realistically look like on stage. And if you can create that, then you've achieved your goal and you've sort of, that's big tick. I always find, though, that once it gets close, you put so much time in, you start focusing on, I really like to win, I really want to win. So you kind of can't help yourself. But the longer you can keep those sort of intrinsic goals, the better. And then as you're going through prep, I always think that if there was more you could do, why aren't you doing it? It's irrelevant. Like if you go, oh, this person's competing and they're real good, so I better step it up a level. Well, if there was another level, you should have already stepped it there. It's not like you've still got something, I'll just work as hard as I have to win the show. Oh, this better person's turning up, so I'm going to work harder. No, you're always putting, either should be putting 100% or are putting 100% in day by day, minute by minute, meal by meal, workout by workout, regardless. It's not like there's an extra incentive to go even harder just because someone else is competing, I don't think.
Yeah, I fully agree, and that's that whole conversation around, oh, it's time to step it up another gear. It's like, fuck, she's been stepped up a gear fucking all year. Whether it's off season, I've pushed as hard as I can, whether it's prep, I've done everything I can, and therefore, I'll put the best package on stage that I personally can, and regardless of what anyone else looks like, yeah, you're right. You've got to be proud of what you put up there as an individual. So.
And it's not necessarily about going harder, because that's the mistake I've made in the past. When I've just pushed myself harder and harder, it's going smarter, it's going better. If there's something I can do to make myself look better, then that, and 14 weeks down the track or 17 weeks down the track, that's what I'll do. It's not necessarily about working any harder, because sometimes the smartest thing you can do is, give your body a bit of a break or a refeed so it's about being as smart and as efficient as you can possibly be, rather than necessarily depriving yourself as much and causing yourself as much pain and suffering as you can.
That was something I thought I was going to struggle with. Why I hadn't coached myself in the past is because I know that my mentality is always like, what more can I be doing? So, in the past, if I woke up one day and my weight hadn't dropped, oh shit, I better do an extra half an hour cardio today. I better cut some carbs from here. And in reality, half the time I should have been doing the complete opposite, feeding my physique more. And so this time I set out a clear plan, and at the start it was hard. I almost had to, with my progress photos and my check-ins, I put no names to it, so I'd treat myself like I was just another one of my clients, and until I had to start checking the photos so regularly that it was too obvious. But yeah, definitely just worrying about what I could do, and sticking to the plan that I set out from the start. Made sure that I didn't do that this time. So
I like having that kind of little aspect of suffering and doing everything hard, because then I can feel like a martyr.
Yeah.
No, but
there's also a thing that I used to struggle with that mentality though. Like, when you know that you're doing everything and you've done absolutely everything for months on end, and you look beside you and sometimes that some of the guys around you might not have had to have suffered as much, or you've got that perception that they haven't suffered as much as you had to. And then when you don't win, that's why people don't understand. I don't understand, how did this person win? It's because you feel like that level of commitment deserves a first or a second or a third.
You should try living with someone like that.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. And that's probably one thing I've really enjoyed about actually having a coach, is that, honestly, man, I park all that shit. I'm just like, are we on track? Yep. What do we need to do? Cool. Go and do it. Easy. And I quite like that little thing, that little post that we had, that we put up. I can't even remember what it said now, but something about the ability to stick to a plan makes average special. And then actually Elmer, so Elmer up in Albany, he been coaching people for a number of years, and he replied with a comment along the lines of, as coaches, we're only as good as what our athletes allow us to be. And I thought that was a pretty poignant sort of a comment. So thanks, Elmer.
Yeah, he's always good for a one-liner, eh?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I can't
Although when he puts his posts up, he's they're pretty extensive, There's a new athlete come on board, or some success with his athletes at powerlifting or bodybuilding. There's usually quite a spiel there, eh?
He's a go the extra mile guy, that guy, but likes to keep a low profile behind the scenes. I've tried to get him on here, and it's not his thing. He doesn't like the limelight like that. I think he
honestly get him on get him on the couch, and he just has the conversation with him, just like you can tell by when he's writing how articulate he is. He's got some awesome yarns, eh?
Yeah. Oh, look, top guy, because I trained with him in the gym for 3 or 4 years. So absolutely, it'd just be gold to get some of those on-sites online. So maybe we'll have to do some of those third hand, perhaps. Right, because we're all prepping, and we've probably got things to do and eat, etc. We're going to call it a day. But I want to first, before we go, I want to thank Darren firstly for coming on board. So thank you, Darren. I also want to do a big shout out, a huge shout out to Mateo and the team who have got the Body of Steel comp on this weekend on the 7th. So for all the competitors competing, all the very best. We will get to see a new Wellness Pro. So there's going to be a hot competition there. So all the very best to you guys. And for those prepping for Wellington the following weekend, all the very best with your prep, and have fun and enjoy yourself on stage. People, get along, go and support them, support local bodybuilding. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me, boys.
No worries, man.